Bigfoot here with Bigfoot Videos. So I'm gonna do a little bit of recording this morning. Got to get in the coop and get 2 days worth of eggs and get out all of the old wood chips. I'm gonna use it for compost, so I'm gonna do that today. And I got to get the animals fed and stuff, so enjoy the time lapse, enjoy the video. The 5th day in a row, maybe 6th day in a row that the cats really have not been eating the dry food. And so they just don't act like they want to eat like they normally do. So I'm gonna check that bag and see if it's no good or not with the bad batch or something like that. So we'll see. All right, everybody, time to feed the chickens. I have to time lapse this and then I'll do the chicken run or the chicken coop shavings. Here we go. I'm gonna open up my chicken coop that I've made out of this old tank, and I'm gonna get my eggs out. I'll probably just leave it open and then go ahead and get a piece of plastic and scrape out all of this pine shavings and poop and stuff and use it for a compost. I'm gonna make a compost bin somewhere where I can flip this stuff and let it break down. So hope you enjoy that. So I got 30 eggs. This is 2 days worth. On a good day, I'll get 15 eggs a day. So I got 30 eggs. I don't know if you can see that. Sunlight on it. Browns, blue, browns, olive green, whitish or real light brown. Nice little assortment of homestead eggs. So I'm gonna go ahead and do, I forgot to take my trash can to the road yesterday. So I'm gonna go and walk that down. I think I'll video it just a little bit. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get the shed a little bit more organized here real quick while I'm getting ready for the chicken coop stuff. And so I had a bunch of stuff back here when I was doing those outlets, but now I'm completely done with the electrical. I installed my last piece of electrical supplies, materials, whatever. I had a dead end line here at the end of my run that I was gonna put a weatherproof box on the outside of the shed. And the reason I did it this way was because I wanted this floodlight out here, and it's actually a blink camera, but I wanted the smallest possible hole I could drill in the shed so as to make sure that my shed still remains, you know, essentially waterproof. At least I'm not doing anything that's making it not waterproof. So that was the smallest hole I could drill, and I drilled it. Hung my wire out there, attached my wire metal cladding armor to the keeper on the round junction box. While it was still hanging, I had pre-drilled the holes for the actual junction box down the bottom left and the top right. Then I put a bunch of seam sealer on it, stuck it on there and screwed it in, and then ran my finger around the edge to get all the extra little seam sealer that came out. So that thing's totally waterproof now. And now I'm totally done. So I'm gonna get all this stuff right here. This is my 2 bins full of electrical supplies and materials and stuff. This board's gonna go on one of the chicken coop nesting boxes so that we don't have to get eggs out of the very bottom nesting box anymore. And put my paint up that I had for my signs and primer, put my ladder up that I used to lean against the shed here for that electrical work, and then this is my tools. So as you have a bunch of like rakes and shovels and brooms and hoes and scrapers and just any kind of thing that's like on a pole type deal. I got a log turner in there, I got a probe, got old sticks, old broom handles and stuff. Just anything like that that's, I would say, 4 inches or 4 feet or taller. You can just stick it in something that's round and then like attach that to something so it doesn't tip over. And it's a super convenient way to be able to get to your tools, and a super efficient way to store things like this. As far as like time saving or space saving efficiency. So I just had that idea the other day. I saw it in the back of somebody's work truck and I was like, I thought I knew that. I just didn't pop in my head when I was thinking about my stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna do that. And then I saw my trash can. I was like, I don't need 2 trash cans in here like this. I'll just use this one for that. So I'm gonna get that out to the shipping container, find a good spot for it, and then get on the chicken coop and make my mulch, my compost bin, things of that nature. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Enjoy it. All right, so obviously that would have been a little bit easier there at the end to take all of the tools out and then put them back in, but it would have been more time consuming. So sometimes you just do things for the quickness of the task and the difficulty, because it's fun. And don't ever forget that. All right, so I got everything loaded up and I'm gonna make it over to the shipping container to put this stuff up. But I was gonna use this time to say something with meaning and purpose, and to be honest with you, my mind just went completely blank. But nonetheless, I'm going to get this unloaded, and then meaning and purpose, I guess, was another awesome thing I forgot that I was gonna do today and realized it last night. Now that I'm moving this out of the way, I can put up a small little like workbench / workstation back in that back wall, kind of where the staircase is and stuff, where I just had all this stuff in the very back there, where I did that first plug on my video yesterday. I have shelving because I'm about to remodel an old closet, and there's some old shelving brackets that I have in the shelf itself, so I can go ahead and just take those down, put them up, and have a little, like a workbench thing. So that'd be cool. So, all right, I'm about to time lapse unloading this into the ship. So it's not the most ideal spot because it's right next to a pathway. And so in order to walk by with like bins and storage bins and stuff, it's a little bit cramped with my mower in here. I can always move my mower forwards and give myself some more space on that pathway there. Not a big deal. I've got it set in neutral. And these posts will be coming out of here soon. Big 12 footers. That'll give me some more space. And then I'll probably figure something else out on some of these mowers and stuff. And then I also have to go through and clean out these shelving here, because I know I can consolidate a lot of that down in a lot of these bins and label them, because it's not stuff that I just need all the time. And then I can get stuff like this. These empty buckets don't need to really be in here. Hello. You know, so there's stuff like that that I know, like, that I've just been storing in these bins for convenience of how I previously had it set up, but I know I can like store it and label it better, and I can start getting all of this scrap wood and figuring out a better system. And then the paint I've already kind of went through and consolidated, but like this old, I don't really know what you call it, but you hook up a kind of like a table router, a router table. I can get it out of here now since I have room in the shed to set that tool up, have a permanent fixture for it. All right, I'm gonna do the chicken coop and stuff next, so enjoy the show. So I forgot to start filming again a little bit, but I got done doing the chicken coop, cleaning it out, and I'm getting ready to build the compost pit with just some stuff I have around the house, scrap and stuff. And I got all the nesting boxes redone. I ended up stacking some blocks in the bottom two nesting boxes because they like to lay down there, but they're really hard to get to. So my wife was like, just stack some blocks in the back. And I already had some cut from another project, and so they were perfect for something like that. So I stacked those in there, and we got it good to go now. So other than that, and then I blocked off I emptied out the bottom two nesting boxes and put a board in front of that so they can't even get in there anymore. So they'll be using the middle two of the 8 quote-unquote nesting boxes that are available. They really don't need 8. 4's been more than enough because they really weren't using the middle two. So now the middle of what was there. So anyhow, you just watched it, so you know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna get the time lapse going. I'm gonna make a little compost pit over here, and hopefully it'll look pretty nice for a compost pit. All right, so I just got done doing the bin area. I might end up putting a divider in it at some point, but something that's more of like a movable divider, so that I can kind of like shovel and rake it over instead of having to shovel it over. Just kind of depends, but I can at least get 2 well-defined piles going since it's big enough. And if I ever want to do something where it's like I'm building some kind of a different like a potting mix or something like that out here, then I would for sure want to divide it so my compost and potting mix isn't getting combined if I don't want. So I'm going to work on time-lapsing the big pile up here by my head. Getting all those pine chips over here. I should be able to pretty well just slide that pile over. I'm going to divide it in 2, pull it in halves, dump it in here, and then I might soak it depending on how wet it is. It might be hot and steamy already, so it's got a bunch of poop in it, so we'll see. I'm gonna let Alright, so I have grossly underestimated the volume of what I had over there. So I pretty much filled up the whole thing. Put that in perspective here. So I can probably build it up pretty high over here, which would be fine. Let it really start building some good heat internally, and then swap it over here in a week or 2 to the other side. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Otherwise I might build another one of these another day before I have to flip it. So what I was expecting it to look like once I'm done. So I can easily put a little divider in the middle here, and then I can start turning this. I might need to make some more empty bins so that I can divide it up into, maybe once it starts breaking down, I can start turning it and separate it into 3 different piles. But all in all, that's good enough for now, and I can deal with the other stuff later on that. So I'm probably going to go in the house and pull those shelving brackets out of the closet and get those mounted in the shed. So that should be the next video that you see. Hey everybody, Bigfoot here. So I wasn't able to get my shelving in today. Just ended up running out of steam a little bit and had to call it for the day. So it was a good day's worth of work, and so I'll get the shelving in on a different day, on a different video. And I hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and make sure to leave any comments in the comment section below if you have questions about anything that I did today. And other than that, until next time, Bigfoot.